Well, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Excuse me, not tonight. This afternoon. This is your one and only Facebook Minister Eric Robinson Jr. Stepped on here today. It's Saturday. You know how I be. When a topic drops in my mind, in my spirit, I'm gonna pretty much talk about it. I'm gonna go into it, and I have a Bible scripture that goes with this topic. Today's topic is called mature mindset. And the scripture that always and forever will stick out when it comes down to the mind and the mindset is Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Be not conformed to this word, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And what goes with that topic is having a mature mindset. Being able to change your mindset of what you used to do, how you used to think, and how you used to conduct yourself. So, even that points for example, you can be a particular age, but your mindset hasn't changed. You can be 40 and have a mindset of a 20-year-old. Oops. You could be 50, you can have a mindset of a 20-year-old. You could be 60, have a mindset of a 20-year-old. You can be 30. But everybody, we can't always go by somebody's age and presume, oh, they're 40, they're mature. No, it doesn't go that way. Give me a moment. So, your age doesn't always make you mature. Minister, why you say my age don't make it? Yeah, I'm being real about it. Your age don't always make you mature. Your mindset does. Like I said, examples, you can be 4 years old and have a mindset of a 20-year-old. You're trying to live like you're still 20 and you're 40. And then, so, well, we can't always make assumptions based upon somebody's age. You can't make always assumptions about everything else. We always have to see the mindset, how they conduct themselves, what they think, how their mind is processing, how they will deal with particular type of situation. God bless you. How you doing today? You can't do that. We can't always go by a mindset. I mean, not a mindset, but you can't always go by a age set. That's why a worldly song, particularly real talk, Pretty Ricky, where it says age ain't nothing but a number. I use that as a reference, as an example. I don't mean I'm condoning anything of the sexual acts of all that. No. I'm talking about a mindset. So please don't take that. Don't take it the wrong way. It's the fact that a lot of people will always presume because of this. Everybody presume because of that. But if we don't take the time, if we don't sit down and actually have these type of conversations with these people and really get to know them and really pick their mind and see what their mindset is at, and not just go by, oh, he's or she's 40, they should be mature. No, this is a time to pick their mind. This is a time to really know them and not just go by the age, go by what you see physically and get jacked up mentally and spiritually because of how they conduct themselves. They can be 40 years old and conduct themselves like they 20 years old. They try to live like they still 20. No, that type of mindset has to go. That mindset has to change. If you want something different, you have to do something different. If you think it, so shall it be. Speak things to existence like they already were. Conduct yourself like you already conduct and talk it like you already have it. People problem is the fact that they always presume a age means you're mature. Not always. Not always. There are people who that age and mature with it. There are some people who's probably younger and act more older than what they are because of the fact of their mindset, how they was raised, how they conduct themselves. Hey, and how they conduct themselves. But we can't make these final decisions just because I tell you, oh, I'm 34 years old. Yeah, I am 34 years old. I'm just mature for my age. I've been around people much older than me for so many years of my life. I'm carrying myself a lot more different than what normal other people would do. I was carrying myself like I was in my mid 20s, early 30s, and I was like 20 something years old because of my mindset. I conducted myself differently. I didn't conduct myself the way everybody else was conducting themselves. Because conducting myself and still continuing living in that way of that mindset wouldn't progress me to where I'm at right now in my life. Get the picture? So it is true. Women are more mature in nearly in every way than a man. But also at the same time, no disrespect, a woman can often make decisions and choices based off emotions and not logic. Some do. Because sometimes you really have to think some things out before you can really before we really have to think things out before we really make a choice and a decision. But otherwise, they say studies should be showing that mature women make decisions based off emotions and men make decisions and choices based off of logic. So now it's time to change the mindset. Now, because we thought they was mature but the only times we often deal with people who act their shoe size and not their age. Meaning you could be 40, 50, but you're acting the size of your shoe. You be 50, but acting like you still in your teens. Some of that stuff, that mindset has to change as you progress, as you get older in your life. We can't always be forever trying to think we're going to be forever 21. That has gone out the window. Some of us in our 30s and 40s and 50s still acting like we're 20, in our young 20s. And with that scripture is talking about be not conformed to this world, but be renewed be changed by the renewing of your mind. It's time to change the mindset. It's time for it to change daily in order to grow, in order to mature, in order to be in that part of your life that needs to be at. You need to be where you at, not falling behind because of the mindset. We can't always blame our circumstances and things going on. We only can do that to a certain extent, but we have to take responsibility in the choices and the decisions that we made for us to be having the mindset that we have. Because we can't forever keep partying up like we're in our young 20s or in our teens. That has to go. That eventually gets to the point you have to go bye-bye. Especially when you get to the point you are having kids. And that's another part that's going to take up a good chunk of your life because now you are a parent. Some people in their life have to get to that point. They have to know, well, some of the stuff that I've been doing have to go bye-bye because now I have a whole new set of responsibility. Now I have to move on to another part of my life. I might have enjoyed the hanging out and partying and all that stuff, but now I can no longer do that. But now I have new sets of responsibilities. Now I have to change my mindset. Now I have to change my mindset to show the maturity for me to be able to handle responsibilities that's already been given upon me. But often we still choose to stay in the mindset of immaturity because some of us it's at points we're not really ready to give up that lifestyle, that mindset, the things that we used to do. Some of us is not ready to give that up. Some of us want to feel like that we look good, we still got it going on. But by the time as you get older and older, them looks gonna fade. That lifestyle is going to fade. That party, drinking, and all that is going to fade. It's going to be boring. Being honest, for me, I got it all out the way before I even turned 25. I didn't do much of the clubbing, but I did party, do some partying. But everything started cutting down as I became another year older. A lot of that cut down, especially always hearing about fights and shootings and killings going on, especially going at the clubs and stuff like that. I was like, oh no, I have to change my mindset about that. Life ain't always a party. We still have to have mindsets and maturity to know we have responsibilities. I always had to I had to put my mindset to the point of handling my business before I have my pleasure. That means I have to make sure my business, my responsibilities is handled before I have my fun. And a lot of times I don't have to go to no club just to have a good time. I don't have to always be at the club looking for a good time. And we really have the mindset, you getting to the point where I mean what I mean on how I'm saying it. We all been at points of we done did that at points in our lives. So we all can't say, no, I haven't. Yes, we have. And we have to realize to that point of doing that particular party has its own consequences. Just like partying and all that stuff, you get into it with the wrong person, you may wind up in the hospital. You won't wind up, you don't even make it home because we made a decision based upon the situation when we have to really rethink it. I know we'll get mad and be ready to fight if somebody step on our foot, step on our brand new shoes or stilettos or whatever. But sometimes a minor, something more as minor as that ain't worth almost losing your life over. It's not. And losing your life for sitting up here, Lord knows I don't like bringing it up, but it is what it is. It's part of life. And put them to a point of a slow death. And my mindset says, I can't be sitting up here constantly giving myself to some people that not mature, not mature, don't want to grow up, don't want to be a man or a real man or real woman, don't want to handle responsibilities, don't want accountabilities, don't want to. End of the day, we can't sit around always neglecting accountability and responsibilities. We can't always still want to treat life as a game. There are diseases out there. There are people who are crazy enough to kill you just for talking and doing something sideways out there. It's getting to that point in our lives, we have to have the mindset and the maturity to pick our fights wisely, to pick and choose how we conduct ourselves in the matter of, I hope I don't wind up in a hospital. I hope I don't have to give my family grievance because guess what? I made a stupid choice and I wind up getting killed for it. Or I'm finna die slowly because I got an STD that's gonna slowly kill me. I said it because there are people who made choices. There are some people who always get the statements of, yeah, if I had a chance to go back on it before that point, I would have made a different choice. We all have. But at the same time, things are already done. And at the same time, yeah, there is a such thing as HIV and AIDS. There is a such thing as other sexual transmitted disease. Some are curable, some are not. Some the only thing you could do is take meds just to keep it in check. That's why we always have to be careful of what we choose to do. We always have to we have to be to that point in our minds and in our lives that we have to really focus and concentrate and really think of the decisions and choices that we make before we make them. Because if we wind up choosing unwisely, that's going to be an unwise consequences coming our way in some type of shape or form. If we choose to press forward to something and we don't have all the information, that's going to be unlikely consequences right behind the door eventually, and we won't expect it coming. All we're going to do is look stupefied because of the fact that we didn't really pick that person's brain. We didn't really think before we spoke, before we said yes, before we said no. We didn't really take time to really think about it. And you're like, Eric, what do you mean I need to think? It's always the transforming and renewing of your mind. Change your mind. Renew the mind daily. Take your focus off the things negative and change it to positive. Proceed with the choices of your life with more caution than what we're doing now. We may look good on the outer appearance, but we have some jacked up, messed up issues in the inner. And for those who think they look so good and so fine, they act so stuck up, them looks is going to fade. Ooh, why did I go that far? So you need to figure out what else is going to keep that man or woman around besides how you look and what you can do in the room. You have to really think about that because, oh, the only thing you bring to the table is sex. Oh, the only thing you bring to the table is your looks. Oh, what else you bring besides your looks, your sex, and your headaches and problems and kids? What else is you bringing to the table? Mature mindset. You may look good on the outside, but have jacked up issues in the inside. Like my pastor always taught and always said, it's not what's in you that's going to defile you. It's what's going to come out that's going to defile you. That's another way of saying ain't what's in you that's going to mess you up. Ain't what goes in you that's going to mess you up. It's what's going to come out of you that's going to mess you up. It's you look good on the outside, but as soon as you open your mouth and something come out and don't sound right, it makes you look ugly. And how we say you are ugly doesn't always involve on how the hell you look on the outer appearance. It doesn't involve that. It involves you must have a beautiful personality in and out, not just out and you're looking ugly in the end, looking like the wicked witch of the east, looking like the wicked witch of the west. Acting and conducting yourself like your mama or your parents didn't teach you anything about showing respect to others. Mindset. And some of us do that. We act like our parents didn't teach us nothing. So we conduct ourselves in some type of shape or form. And thinking it's okay. But it's not. Mistakes make you great. You learn from your mistakes and you become a greater person. When you acknowledge your mistakes, that's the beginning of becoming a better person. But when you don't acknowledge your mistakes and act like you ain't do squat diddly nothing wrong, or you never make a mistake, you perfect and you always right, you got another thing coming. That's people's issues to this day. They always feel like they'll never do nothing wrong. They don't do nothing wrong. But as soon as you get to the point you address an issue with them, they feel like they wasn't in the wrong. Continue having that mindset. And let's continue how many relationships you're going to constantly be in. All you're going to count up on is notches. It ain't going to help that and it's going to get to a point that you're never going to get to that point of walking down the aisle, because one thing you have to be willing to do is acknowledge when you make a mistake, acknowledge when you did something wrong or said something wrong. That's part of the mature mindset. If you don't have that mature mindset to acknowledge that you said or did something wrong, or acknowledge a mistake that you made, that and you feel like it's none of your fault or you ain't do nothing wrong, guess what? That man or that woman is not going to really take your mindset or take you serious because of the fact that you can't even acknowledge what did you do wrong? What did you say wrong? We always point the finger at everybody else. Rather than showing maturity, we act childish because all we want to do is push the blame on somebody else, but never say, "Oh, I know." Acknowledge that you might have did or said something wrong to trigger a situation. Most people think that people cheat just for the heck of it. No, they don't. They don't always cheat for the heck of it. Maybe sometimes it gets to that point that somebody acknowledges that something not right, something's wrong, and acknowledge it, and then it don't get addressed or it don't get fixed, and they continue to still doing it, but then it gets to the point that they gonna go to the point that I'm tired of, I just addressed this 2-3 times with this person, and they still didn't work on it. They didn't still fix it. They still doing the exact same thing they doing. Think it ain't wrong. So it's gonna get to the point they're gonna leave you. They're gonna call it quits. Or if you get to the point you refuse to leave, they're gonna cheat. And a lot of times, often at times, some of the things revert to cheating rather than just saying, "Bump this, I'm gonna go." I addressed a couple issues that I seen that was wrong, and you sitting up there continuing to feel like you ain't do nothing wrong, you didn't say nothing wrong, or anything like that, or you ain't addressing your mistakes and choices and decisions that you made. So instead of I did that, I might as well leave before I wind up cheating on you. That's all that gotta be done. Just leave before you wind up having to cheat on them to make them leave. And that's the last thing you don't want to do is to find out that they points intention in cheating to make you leave. They cheating to make you leave because of the fact that it got to a point that there was issues that's being addressed. They addressed stuff, but you choose not to acknowledge it. You choose not to work on it. Don't choose to fix on it. Ever known that sometimes when it comes down to people, that it's so quickly and easy to point out everybody else's flaws, but when your flaws get pointed out, all of a sudden you want to act like, "Oh, if you can't accept me for me, then we don't need to be friends. We don't need to be together." I think y'all better shut your mouths about that very fast and quick, because of the fact that that's going to get you messed up the most. That's going to make you stay single for the rest of your life. The double standard crap. That's the mindset of double standard crap. And it's I see it just like it is. It's crap. Because of the fact that don't sit here and point out everybody else's flaws with ease, but never want to address your own. Even that was something I had to learn. At least when I learned that, I matured more because of the fact that I could point out my flaws and my mistakes before I let anybody else do it. That's one of the things that makes being in relationships or anything hard, because of the fact that people always address somebody else's issues, flaws, and mistakes, but never want to face their own. Never want to look in the mirror and face their own. Never want to mature. And that's part of immaturity, when you don't want to address your own issues. We all been there, done it. We all have our own issues in our lives. We all do. But when we choose not to address them, but address everybody else's, what that kind of tells you about you. I look in the mirror daily. I say, what am I doing wrong? What am I saying wrong? What I'm doing wrong? What I need to do to change it? That's my daily mindset. Hey, Chris, how you doing? That is my mindset. I always look in the mirror. I'm always asking God, what did I say wrong? What have I done wrong? What do I need to do to change it? Because I address my own issues before I can point anybody else's out. Why would I want to point out somebody else's dust, speck, and stuff in their eyes, but I won't address what's in my eyes? It's the mindset. It's having a mature mindset to address your own issues before you sit up there and point everybody else's out. Because sometimes it's not always everybody else that do you wrong that's got an issue. It's you. You just choose to to some of us choose to make somebody talk bad about somebody else to make them feel bad and make it seem like it's them and it's actually you. Because every time something don't work out in a relationship or a friendship, and it don't be the other person, guess who's the common denominator? You. We are the common denominators in all of them situations. And that's truth be told. That's truth be told. That is truth be told. We always want to shift blame on somebody else. That's not mature. That's acting childish. It's just like the same way of saying acting childish with the mindset of acting so reckless and you wind up sleeping with the wrong person and doing the wrong thing. There's going to be a consequence for it, either pregnancy or HIV. Well, I'm going to say STD, sexually transmitted disease. And that's truth be told. We always want to blame somebody else. Because technically it is against the law to give somebody something and never tell them that you are HIV positive. If you got a transmitted disease like that and you don't acknowledge that person or tell that person and let them know the risk with it, guess what? You could be held accountable for, that's almost like practically murder. It's a slow death. It's a slowly but sure death. And if God intervenes, that's your miracle cure. But God intervene, if he don't, I just pray that you live right for you to be living in heaven for eternity. Exactly. You got to. Prayer. But also we have to always renew and change our mindsets. We always have to take into consideration about other people and not worry about me, myself, and I. That's a selfish mindset. So we need to start acting our suicides and actually at our age, at mature. That's why even in the word, if a man lacks wisdom, God asks for it and God will give it to you liberally. And that's what I've done. A lot of times in my life, I just seek out wise counsel. I don't care if it's parents, pastor, whoever. I seek out wise counsel from people much older than me, for people who've been there, done it. And one person had asked me this question, and I'm going to wrap it up. They literally asked me this question. They asked me, Eric, why would you take more of relationship advice from a married couple than a couple that's in a relationship? That's the key word of the day. One of the key words of the day. Marriage. I can't just take relationship advice from people who just be in a relationship. I need the advice for people who've been there, done it, and they're married. They got double-digit years of marriage under their belt, not double-digit years in a relationship. No disrespect to the ones who be in them double-digit relationships, but if you're telling me how to conduct myself in a relationship, that's all you can give me advice on, how to conduct myself in a relationship. Not tell me how to conduct myself in a marriage. Because you're not married. You're living like you're married, but you're really not. You shacking up, you are playing house and not building the house. That's the issue. That's the thing. That's the major difference between receiving advice from married people and relationships. If all I'm being in is in relationships and I've never been married or I'm not still married, guess what? I take more consideration of people being in a marriage, because guess what? I can do the things that they did and apply it in my own way to get for me to not only be whole and stay in a steady relationship, good relationship, but it all get applied and used into marriage. So taking relationship advice for people who are just in a relationship, that's fine to a point. But I need that type of advice of that relationship turning into marriage to come into play. And all you can give me is relationship advice. You're only telling me about staying and being in a relationship. And I'm not looking just to stay in a long-term relationship that I'll be in a relationship for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I want some of them to be part of my marriage. I want to be like, oh, I've been with this person for at least a year or two, but I've been married with this same person for 10, 15 years. That's what I want. I want to get to the point of saying, now, it's me. I can speak for myself. Not just be in a situation that I only been in a relationship for that many years, and it seemed like I'm feeling like I'm at a standstill right now. That will literally make you feel like you're at a standstill right now. I know. That's what I mean, Crystal. That's what I do mean. That I do get that advice from people who are saved. That's what I like to get my advice from, because I don't want to always receive advice on how to stay in a relationship. I want that advice to be in a good, healthy relationship that's going to lead to a good marriage. Because I don't want to stay in a relationship for so many years and it's not going no further. That means the more it's like, even for me, I'm speaking for myself on this part, it's like, I don't want to be in a relationship that I've been in for years and I'm wondering where it's going. Especially if I'm telling myself, I'm a husband, I'm husband material. I want to be someone's husband, not just someone's boyfriend / baby daddy. That's how I conduct and carry myself. That's how I conduct and carry myself daily. I said, I know I'm husband material. I know I'm deserving and worthy to be someone's husband. Not be someone's baby daddy. Not be someone's just boyfriend. I'm being honest. If we're not working towards marriage, why am I with you? I always think that when I get to the point I be in a relationship for a long amount of years, I always say, I know. And then here's the kicker. And then I'm really going to wrap this up. I'm sorry. This is really going to be a kicker. One person asked me or posted on there, and then one person asked me, if you propose to your girlfriend that you've been with for some years, like at least 2-3 years, and she tells you no, would you continue or would you leave? And I told her, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna leave. And he's like, why you invested so much time into this person and then you leave after one rejection? Maybe they want. Think about that before you go any further. Why did you invest so much time in somebody to leave them? That's the thing. I invested enough time and showed them, and I told them, I do one marriage. I know about 6 months out of a year. That's what's the average time that it takes for a man to know if they want to marry you or not. Don't let no man tell you no different. Because a lot of times, a lot of men who tell you that, most of them are unsaved men. Don't let no man tell you it takes years to figure out if I want to marry this woman or not. No, it don't. 6 months to a year. You've been getting to know them as a friend. Then you've been with them, dating them, and in a relationship with them for quite some time. Combine all that together. How long you really invested in being friends and being with this person? Exactly. Because of the fact that, truth be told, you can't forever be having the mindset of marriage, mindset of being somebody's husband, being somebody's wife, if you're still the girlfriend or the boyfriend, or you just a baby. Here's why I even said last night. Some people will get to a point they want to see you worthy enough to be their girlfriend, boyfriend, baby mama, baby daddy. But if that person don't see you worthy enough to be their wife, be their husband, why are you pressing forward any further? Why are you still with somebody? Why are you, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, be ye not unequally yoked? Why are you with somebody who don't want the same thing you want? That's every person, man, every woman's issue. We always end up hooking and getting with somebody just to that's why I said last night too, don't always settle for a piece of something. If you're not going to get the whole thing, stop selling for a piece. Why are you selling for a piece of man or a piece of woman that you want to go around saying, well, at least I got a piece of a man or I got a piece of a woman? It's better than nothing. Child, please, better than nothing is better than a piece. You're not getting the whole thing of the person. Look at it as a quarter. Look at it as a pie. One of my two favorite pies I like to eat is apple pie, and sweet potato pie. I can eat whole sweet potato pie by myself. I can eat whole apple pie by myself. That's why my mom had to make a whole apple pie and sweet potato pie for me, because of the fact that I can eat a whole pie by myself. So my point of that is, why do I just want to settle for a piece of a pie when I know I can ask for a whole piece of pie? If I ask my mom, can you make me a pie piece? Why am I asking my mom just to fix me a piece of pie? Why am I asking my mom for a piece of pie? It's just it's a point I'm making. My mom can bake me a whole pie. Why would I tell my mom, Mom, can you go fix me a piece of pie? Or my mom said, nah, I'm not going to fix you a piece of pie. I'm going to fix you a whole pie. That don't make no sense. That means you're taking a piece of a man, a piece of a woman, then getting all of them. That means you're only getting 25% of them. You're not getting a whole 100. If you pouring out 100, get reciprocated with 100. I'm going to say that again. If you're pouring out 100, be reciprocated with 100. That means if you're giving 100, you expect 100 back from that person. If you're not going to get 100% back, why even bother? Luke chapter 6, verse 38, it says, God, thank you. Give and give back to you. Press down, shaking together, and running over. As man give unto your bosom. So, that says it itself. It don't always have to relate to finance. It still relates to a point. What you give is what you get back. When you give 100, you get 100 back. But when you give it only 25%, 50%, 75%, it's done. I'm not going to put 100% effort into something, and I'm only getting 25, 50, or 75% from that person. Cut that. Cut it. So, that was the first of most likely 2 heart-to-heart talks that we're going to have tonight, or today. The next heart-to-heart talk is going to be part 4 of the series I've been doing on red flags, and most likely night, tomorrow night, I don't know what time, and I'm not going to give you no time. I am going to give you the review of all 21 all 20 red flags plus the 3 bonus. That's 23. I'm going to do that whole review Sunday night. I'm going to do part 4 on tonight. I'm not telling you what time. But I am going to do my best to make sure I get it in. Truth be told. But at the end of the day, this is your one and only Facebook Minister Eric Robinson Jr. I hope y'all enjoyed this heart-to-heart talk today. Because the second heart-to-heart talk is going to be this evening tonight, but I'm not telling you what time. Because when I set a time and something comes up, then I really pay for it. So I said I might as well just say the day or what particular point of the day, but I'm not going to tell the time. You'll know when I pop on Facebook Live when it says Heart to Heart Talk, part 4 of the topic of red flags. That's all you're going to know. Well, I pray y'all got something out of this Heart to Heart Talk. Y'all know I wrap my session saying I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for the hearts, likes, and shares. Y'all have a God bless morning, afternoon, evening, and night. God bless y'all. I love y'all. See y'all tonight. Peace.